Hello, folks. We're going to get started with flipping the script in just a few moments here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Flippin' the Script. My name is Amelia Acosta-Powell. I serve as the Associate Artistic Director at the Repertory Theater of St. Louis. And I'm so thrilled to introduce tonight's guest, the Rep's Board President, Gwen Middeke. Hi, Gwen.
Hello, hello, hello.
So nice to have you here.
Oh, I'm just thrilled.
We're thrilled to have you. You're our very first board guest, hopefully
Yes.
first of many.
I do this short straw.
Well, this is what leadership looks like, Madam President.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'd love to just start by asking you to introduce yourself. Tell us what you do in your real life, if you will, and how long you've been with the Rep, and what the board president does.
Okay, well, in my real life, I'm a grandmother, wife, mother, 6 kids, 7 grandchildren. I'm retired. I started working after my kids went to school, and I got my MBA from Washington University. Worked for 40 plus years as a consultant on benefit plans, and still keep my hand in a little bit, but I am mostly retired, so that's a good thing. I have been associated with the Rep since I started dating my current husband. He knew that if he wanted women to go out with him, he had to have places to take them. So he decided to get a subscription to the Rep, and I'm glad he did. So on one of our first dates, we went to the Rep, and I started monopolizing his attention. And so pretty soon we were both going to all the shows at the Rep, and we got married. And a friend of his decided that maybe I would be interested in being on the board. Ben Houts, who is past president, he's currently the treasurer of the Rep board, and the rest is history. And that's been 15 years that I've been involved on the board off and on. In my role as president, I was told by the previous president, our Lou Briggs, who I thank very much for getting me involved. She gave me a wonderful layout of what would be going on, and then COVID hit, and so the world turned upside down. And so my year as president has been challenging, interesting, and probably very different from what my role as president will be in the future. But I love it. There are many wonderful people on the board of directors, and they all love the Rep. They all play important roles in their board work, and so it's a pleasure.
Thank you for that. I want to highlight that we heard it here. The Rep is a fantastic matchmaker. So for anyone who's watching who is single, I believe Gwen has just expressed that if you're looking for a good place to bring dates, the Rep is the ideal place.
Absolutely. 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 And you throw in dinner on top of it, that's the coup de grace.
There you go. Who doesn't love dinner and a play? That's a great date.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just talk a little bit? A lot of different folks watch this show who, some of them are theater people, some may not be, and have different levels of familiarity. So can you talk a little bit about what, how the Rep's board works, or how it works to serve on a nonprofit board? You highlighted how many incredible people serve on the board. I want to make sure we name that all of you do this as volunteer work, which is incredibly generous with your time and your talents. How does a arts nonprofit board work? What's the role between board and the Rep?
Well, there's some very specific duties that we have. And again, we are all volunteers. And in the not-for-profit world, the board has some very specific fiscal responsibilities to make sure that the not-for-profit is a viable institution and is doing what the strategic plan in force is describing its work. So we are involved in approving all of the annual budgets, overseeing the financials. We are responsible for hiring and reviewing the two people that report directly to us, and that is our artistic director and our managing director. So they are the two people that report directly to the board. We are also ambassadors for the rep to the outside world. We are out there cultivating new board members, cultivating donors, cultivating subscribers, just basically outreach to the community, telling them what a wonderful institution we are and to come see us and support us. So those are pretty much our main functions. We have various committees that work at different times. Right now, the facilities committee is a big deal, as we have been working through the COVID relations or implications with regard to HVAC. As you well know, Amelia, you've been working with our facilities committee. So different committees at different times that come and go, and the people on the board of directors volunteer their time, not only for the full board meetings, but for committee meetings. And that's where the real work and interesting work happens.
Absolutely agree with that. And it's been really wonderful to have that board support for some of these tough issues that we have to tackle, like the unexpected HVAC concerns, for sure.
Crazy, crazy.
Yes, indeed. You talked a little bit about how you got involved with the rep and became board president, but what is your specific role as president, and are you, how does that kind of term work?
Well, I have a 2-year term, I believe. I was just elected for another 2-year term. My job is to approve the slate of officers that will be working with me. So I have to do a little schmoozing to make sure that everyone is on board and eager to participate as an officer. In addition, we have an executive committee, and I name the people and invite them to be a member of the executive committee. I participate in as many of the board committees meetings as is feasible, and in this Zoom world, I'm actually able to attend more meetings than I probably would have otherwise without taking an apartment somewhere near the Loretto Hilton Center, which wouldn't be a bad thing. I wouldn't mind that. I also, as board president, have been involved in national organizations in terms of representing the rep at conferences. Again, they've all been Zoom. I can't wait till I can actually go to the cities and represent the rep, but it's been a great learning experience for me. All of the different regional theaters around the country, how they do business. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
you probably know that.
I definitely agree. It's such a great thing to be able to connect with our national peers. And I do look forward to you being able to come to the conferences in person, because the real fun absolutely happens at the hotel bars.
So I've been told.
I'm curious about also your origin story, not just with the rep, but with theater. Were you a patron of the arts prior to these fantastic dinner and rep dates? And if so, what made you interested in the performing arts in the first place?
I come from a long line of artists. I have my bachelor's degree is in music. I'm a singer. I have had the good fortune to sing in some amazing symphony orchestra choirs. during my heyday, and I've actually sung at Carnegie Hall a few times, so that's pretty cool. My sister and I and my brother, the three of us, all performed in high school, college. My sister actually is currently on a pension from the Screen Actors Guild because she worked as a commercial actress for a large part of her career. So performing was something we did at home, and then we did it on stage. So, and when we get together, we still do it. And I don't know who of us is the most comedic, but we all try very hard to be the funniest in our family. So I came to it just naturally from my family origins. Truly an origin story.
Yeah, that's so cool. What do you like to sing?
I like to sing happy birthday to my grandchildren. My singing career is now in the retired also. But I was a mezzo soprano. I sang all the classic. I love Puccini. I love singing Puccini, and German art songs were kind of something that my vocal range did well in. My French is abominable, so my French art songs not so much. But Italian, German, that was where my sweet spot was.
Beautiful. You're the only person I've ever heard say that they actually like to sing happy birthday. I feel so trapped every time I'm in a situation where I have to sing happy birthday. So
well, see, we have to do it in 5-part harmony always. The interesting thing is my father was deaf. He lost his hearing when he was 2 years old. So here he is, the father of these 3 performing children that started in recitals early on and continued all the way to college and subsequent. My sister did community theater long time. So he never missed anything. He'd ask my mother how we were doing. But it was interesting to have a person who's deaf be so proud of us and didn't have a clue. I guess my mother could have lied to him, but I think we did pretty well.
That's beautiful. I'm certain you did. And I'm glad they had that trust. I don't think if my 2 parents went to a performance together that they would trust each other's opinions necessarily. I'm sure they're watching and I'll probably get a text. I'm curious about, so obviously you have a very rich love for all kinds of different arts and performing arts. You mentioned what an unusual year this has been, and it certainly has. How has your experience been as we've shifted the Rep's programming over the past year to mostly virtual programming? What have you found exciting or interesting about the opportunities that we've had or the adaptations that we've made?
Yeah, that's a struggle for me. I'm very much a sit in the theater and take it all in kind of a person. And that's probably my age showing there. I did find that the Black Like Me that was done, and it was a Zoom type of a performance. That was amazing how they were able to do that. And I remember reading that book when I was in 6th grade, when it had first been published, and it was kind of a monumental thing back then in the, I guess, 60s. And so to see it reimagined was really, I thought, very cool. But the latest thing that I was just really impressed with was the initial reading of Malima's Tale that I was privy to. Oh my, the poetry of the 4 actors just speaking. No costumes, no props, just speaking the words. It's amazing how that can come across on a Zoom virtual platform. It was just, I can't wait to see the show in person, but that was just poetry in motion. So those two things, I think, really opened my eyes to how the world is changing and the rep is pivoting with it. And there's a lot out there that we can continue to do virtually as we move forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for those examples. I was really proud of the reading of Black Like Me by Monty Cole as well. And true to your word about the stewardship that the board provides, you've set me up with a perfect moment to highlight Malima's Tale.
Okay.
That is the show that we are producing now. Public performances begin with previews on May 28th. So if you're watching this and you don't have your tickets for Malima's Tale, call the Reps box office. If you are a subscriber, you are able to get seats now. And if you are not yet a subscriber, your tickets become available May 20th. There's going to be a link in the comments momentarily where you can click through to your tickets. I do think there was a really cool opportunity there. You've had opportunities previously to hear first read-throughs of our shows, but the ability to have folks who weren't necessarily in town, like the designers who are traditionally come a little bit later in the process, as well as any special guests like board members who might have been at their Florida homes or anything, to be able to tune in is pretty remarkable. And I'm really looking forward to the special opportunity that we have now to have the show in person, which I'm thrilled about, and then also offer it virtually so that people can see it live, or if they're not able to or not ready to come back in person, or again, not in the region, they'll be able to see it. And I think that's really pretty remarkable.
Not to be missed, that's for sure.
Absolutely. It is. I mean, poetry is definitely the word. Lynn Nottage's writing is just stunning, and our cast is pretty killer too.
Yeah, haunting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to hear from you. You mentioned following a strategic plan, and that is certainly part of the guidelines of viewing the rep's future. As the board president, what are you hoping and dreaming for the rep over the coming 3 to 5 years?
Wow. This being fiscally sound. We have a great endowment, and we need to keep continuing to grow that. We need to come out of this pandemic selling tickets again and welcoming people. I think of the rep in 3 to 5 years as a place that has its doors wide open. I think is the best way for me to say that. Welcoming people back to the theater, welcoming new people to the theater, welcoming new artists, welcoming back artists. Just when I think of the theater, I think my goal is to have the theater be strong enough fiscally to be able to have our doors wide open. So that's my dream for the rep.
It's a good dream. I think we are going to achieve it.
I do too.
Good. I'm glad. I'm curious, that was looking forward, and now I want to look back. Do you have any favorite, or one or a couple favorite rep productions you've ever seen?
Oh yeah. Into the Woods. I loved. A funny thing happened on the way to the forum. I loved Fly. I loved, there aren't many that I didn't love. I loved the studio show Soups, Casseroles, and Other Things. Is that what it was called? I forget.
Yeah, that was a premiere that the rep did.
Yeah, that was just so funny because it took me back to my Wisconsin. I think that was my mother's kitchen in that show. So lots and lots. Sunday in the Park with George was amazing.
I'm hearing that you like musicals.
Well, I am a singer after all.
Well, in that case, I really can't wait for you to see Dreaming Zenzile when
I know
we have the chance once more.
Yeah, so we come out humming.
I think so. I will admit I was not very familiar with Miriam Makeba's music previous to this production. For those who may not know, we were in the midst of producing the world premiere of Dreaming Zenzile by Somi Kakoma in spring 2020 when we had to shut the theater down. And it is a biographical story of Miriam Makeba, the artist and activist from South Africa. And since that show, I have been listening to her music the whole time and just completely fallen in love with it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And Somi's music too.
Yes. What a singer. What a voice.
Absolutely. So if there are folks watching this who might be interested in serving on boards of theaters or nonprofits or otherwise supporting the work, who may not make theater their full-time career, but they want to be a part of it the way that you are, what advice would you offer?
Just get involved. There's our volunteer board, our volunteer association, where you can tailor the amount of hours that you have available, is a great way to get started. Being available, just send me an email and we will talk to you. But I think that having a strong board creates a strong organization. Having a board that's diverse, that is got talents, business talents, governmental talents, social talents, it's just really crucial to a well-rounded board. So I am so proud of the board members that we have. We want to grow the board, make it larger. So we are out combing the streets. I said I was going to put up a billboard or wear pancakes, a sandwich sign. Isn't that what it is? Join the board. But they told me that wouldn't do well. I live in St. Charles. And so if you're hearing me out in St. Charles, we need more board members from St. Charles. So that's my plug.
Sounds good. If you're watching this and you're interested in becoming a board member for the rep and you don't have Gwen's email address, you can email mail@repstl.org and we'll connect you.
Yes. It's amazing how many emails I get there.
Yes, well, I thought that was a better choice than giving out your personal email.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
That is the end of my formal questions for you. And as you know, we like to end our segments with a lightning round. Can I entice you to play fun facts in 60 seconds?
Absolutely. And I'll let you know that I am very fast. So you'll probably need more than one question.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to put 1 minute on the timer and ask you this series, but not in order, so you can't be prepared.
I'm not prepared.
Okay.
I am not. Can't you tell?
You fake it well. Here we go. Okay. Driving or flying?
Flying.
Favorite way to relax?
Pull weeds.
Video calls or audio calls?
Video.
Last play you saw?
I can't even remember. It's been so long.
Fair. Favorite visual artist?
All of my children and grandchildren are all artists, and so they are my favorites. I have their artwork displayed, paintings, etc. I have two that were trained, actually. Oh, this is a lightning round. Be quiet.
Favorite pizza topping?
Black olives.
Puppies or kittens?
Both, please.
Favorite food?
I'm Irish, so it's got to be potatoes.
Has to be. Favorite season?
Spring.
Favorite board game?
Oh, I enjoy Rummy Cube.
Nice. Newspapers or magazines?
Newspapers.
Okay, it was a lightning round, but I do want to go back. So you have children and grandchildren who are professional visual artists.
Two that were trained. One went to the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design, and that was one of my children. And one of my grandchildren went to Webster University and has a degree in game design and animation.
Very cool.
My sister is an artist in addition to being an actress, and I have one of her oil paintings on my wall. And my youngest grandson has won awards for his art, and right now he's more interested in video games, but significant skills. So I've got a few of his things up too.
That's incredible. Well, we are very fortunate to have such an arts lover and expert as our board president. It's been really a pleasure to navigate a challenging year with you, Gwen. So thank you for all that you have done for the rep over the past years, and especially, you know, personally, just thank you for the last year in particular, and looking forward to everything that's to come.
Yes, let's have a toast to that. Amen.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on to Flipping the Script. It's been really great to get to know a little bit more about your backstory, and I look forward to the folks who are meeting you for the first time via this medium, getting to meet you back in the lobby of the theater.
I will be there with bells on.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who has joined us for this episode of Flipping the Script. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and we will continue to introduce you to members of our staff, artists who we're working with, and members of our board and our volunteer board, all the people who make the incredible magic at the Rep happen.
And thank you, Amelia, for all you do.
Thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that it's Give STL Day, and we actually have a matching gift going on right now. So after Gwen and I exit this virtual stage, there will be text to give info going up on the screen. If you would like to make a donation, we would greatly appreciate it. And if you didn't catch it earlier, just a reminder, get your tickets for Lima's Tale, May 28th to July 11th at the Center for Creative Arts.
Very good. Thank you.
Thanks, Gwen.